You know, in an HOA, it's necessary for board members and homeowners to work together in a partnership. But sometimes disagreements between people can lead to tension. And that tension can get worse and worse. And eventually, one person snaps and hurts the other person. The purpose of this presentation is to learn how to reduce tension and work together to solve problems.
Hello, I'm Mary Rendina, Executive Director of the Nevada chapter of the Community Associations Institute, and I'd like to welcome you to the CAI media presentation. CAI provides comprehensive education to board members, homeowners, and community managers. This presentation series, developed by CAI's Nevada chapter, brings educational information to board members all around our state, and it has been developed and presented by experienced board members, all of whom have completed CAI's award-winning Decal Education Series. We thank our generous sponsors who make these free presentations possible.
We at the Nevada Real Estate Division applaud you for volunteering to serve as a board member on your homeowners association.
Board members play a vital role in successful HOA management, which is why we believe that board member training and ongoing education is critical.
We're proud to support the effort of CAI's Nevada chapter to provide this innovative digital media training.
We'd also like to remind you that you can also contact the Real Estate Division or CAI for additional help.
Enjoy the presentation.
Hello and welcome to this presentation. I'm Greg Toussaint and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Chuck Niggemeyer. We're both longtime board members. Believe it or not, Chuck.
25 years. Wow, that's a lot of time.
Between the two of us, we've got 25 years of board experience. So we've made a lot of the mistakes that we all make as board members.
Probably haven't made them all, but we've made a few.
There's still time to make some more?
Still time to make more, yep.
And both of us have completed CAI, or Community Association Institute's dedicated Community Association Leadership Program, or DECAL. And that means we've attended a lot of classes on how to be a good board member, what it takes to be a good board member. And we hope that our experience and training will actually benefit you and your community. Now, for those of you who never seen this guy on the slide in your meetings, you're lucky.
This guy?
This guy.
Oh,
this is the guy. This is the guy.
I know what you mean, okay.
And I think really, haven't we all seen this guy? In this four-part presentation, we're going to tackle the difficult problem of how do you deal with anger in association meetings. Most of us, aren't necessarily prepared for that. The problem with angry people is simple. They're not listening.
Oh, I heard what you said?
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
They're too busy thinking about what they're going to say next in response to you.
Okay.
So they don't really solve problems, they just argue. So the goal of this presentation is to find ways we can disarm anger in angry situations in our meetings and avoid making things worse.
So in our class outline, which you see on the slides in front of you, in the first segment, we're going to take a look at why people get mad. There are reasons. If we can't fix the problem, if we don't understand it, we won't. In the second segment, we'll discuss how we get through this with kind of a neighborly tone. We put everything down and get the temperature down to where everybody can kind of get along with each other. In the third part, we want to talk about why board members sometimes are part of the program they actually create problems and they don't realize it. And then we'll sum it all up at the end, but kind of tell you how to handle that. And we've got some recommendations on things that we can kind of make the temper and the anger go on down.
Because there are some people that they're not going to stop being angry.
So why do people get mad?
Why do people get mad in a meeting? Or why do they show up mad?
Well, I don't know.
There's two different situations.
So tell me.
Well, the first thing is, if you think about it, the system's set up to create contention, anger, and
really?
conflict.
Okay.
It does. There's people you've never met that you've got to talk to. They're criticizing the things you really care about.
You mean people that that live around us don't know us?
They don't know us.
Wow. I didn't think
They criticize your house. They criticize your yard. They criticize how you drive. They criticize where you park.
What about pets? I
Don't
bet they
like
have
your
a problem
pets.
with that too, right?
People, pets, and parking, right?
That's it.
Most of the things, though, these are intimate things in your life that you care about these things. And you're not only criticized,
Wow.
you're threatened too. Can you believe you're threatened?
Well, you know, I can see where that might happen, you know, could be.
Have you ever gotten one of those courtesy letters?
What? A courtesy, but they're courtesy.
Yeah.
They're nice, aren't they?
They do start off that way, don't they? They
Most
tell
of
you
the
about, you know, we're sure you love this community as much as we all do.
I
but
do.
but there's something you didn't notice, perhaps. That
Oh, now.
the paint on your eaves,
What? What's wrong with the paint on my eaves?
it's peeling.
What? Peeling?
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not going to take this. You know, hey, does everybody in the community know that? I bet they do. I bet they're talking about me, aren't they? Okay? You know that guy down the street? You know, his stuff
Chuck,
is
Chuck.
worse than mine.
Chuck,
What?
we're all here trying to solve problems together.
Really?
We are.
You know, I don't like it. I'm not going to take that much more.
But Chuck, you have to agree that the paint's peeling, right?
Well, yeah,
So we just need to put a plan together.
I'll fix it next year.
Well, let's try to do a little sooner than that, shall
What do
we?
you mean?
Like within 30 days?
What?
It's just a little bit of paint. You can do that.
Oh, come on. 30 days? I can't get that matched up in that period of time. What's wrong with you?
Well, not every homeowner gets as angry as Chuck here. A lot of them, they get the courtesy letter, and the first part seems pretty nice. But then they read the rest of it, and it says something like, you're in violation of CC&R, Article 8, Section 3.
CC&R?
It's the rules you're supposed to follow.
Oh, all right.
And it requires you to keep your home maintained, and that's the issue
I
here.
do maintain my home.
And the problem then is it gets a little worse, Chuck,
Oh.
because the next thing it says is that you've got to do this in 14 days.
What?
And if you don't, you have to come to a hearing.
I suppose you're going to
And-
tell
And
me.
you know what? At that hearing, what can happen?
What?
We can fine you.
What?
And we can stop you from using the pool, because those are the penalties that we apply if you don't take
Who puts those penalties on me?
the board of directors.
Oh, the board. I see.
So now you've got this letter. Now, if you weren't mad before,
Yeah, I am.
you're really mad now,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not only mad, I'm embarrassed.
You're
by the whole
embarrassed.
situation.
And,
Yes.
and I can see that because, you know, you're in violation, and as you said before, you know, who knows about this? So we have to, you know, we have to look at all the situation.
Well, you know, let's say I'm just not willing to correct it in the 30 days or 15 or whatever the so-called rules tell me. What are you going to do about that?
We're going to call you to a hearing
What?
in front of our board of directors, and they're going to listen to what you have to say and what the manager has to say and make a decision, and you might find yourself being fined.
You mean that sounds like a tribunal to me? Is that what it would be?
it is. That's
Well, I don't want to do that. I guess I won't. I'll fix it, okay?
I hope you will, because there's no reason, you know, we're working together on this. We're partners. Let's make
Yeah,
this work.
we are neighbors. I forgot about that. Okay.
Now, the next slide I'm going to ask you to do, because people don't always arrive at the meeting angry. Some of them arrive perfectly happy, and then something happens, it seems like, and they get mad really quickly. Can you talk about that?
Well,
How'd that
yeah,
happen? So
I
you,
guess-
you seem to know about being angry, so tell us about it.
Well, actually, I'm not as angry as I appear at times, but I do know what you mean. I mean, my experience on the board says a lot of times they come to a meeting and they're fine, they have some little issue, let's say like landscaping or something, you know, and they bring it before the board, but, you know, we as the board know we can't do anything about it. You know what happens then? They start to get upset, maybe a little bit angry with us. And
Why can't you do anything about it?
well, because maybe there are extenuating circumstances that we're aware of that they don't know. I mean, we just got to be a little careful how we handle it. We want to be sure that they understand we're trying to work with them. And we do that in a lot of ways, but the thing that we have to be careful about as a board member is that when we listen to them, we want to be sure that we look at them. We want to be sure that we aren't talking down to them so that they know that we're really listening.
Because it shows.
Yeah,
right?
that's
If you
right.
do that, it shows, right?
And we don't want them to get the idea that, well, let's get on with this meeting, you know, this is kind of, let's get it over with and get out of here. Attitude really shows. You know,
So you've done all that, you listened to them, you looked in their face, you've been courteous,
Yeah.
and they still are mad. What do you do?
well, you know, we still have to pay attention to what they say. We cannot allow ourselves to be pulled into that situation of antagonism, back and forth. So we have to listen to their concerns. Now, you know, maybe they just want to really be heard. I think in most times in cases, that's exactly what it is. I mean, we're listening to each other right now, and that's what they expect. So, you know, they're our neighbor, and they need to be treated that way. Well, you know, sometimes people just want to be angry, and you know what? Sorry about that. Can't help it, right?
But you know, we've been talking about homeowners.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
What about board members? They arrive angry. They become angry in meetings. It happens.
I never get angry in a meeting.
Really?
No, look at this face. You think I could get angry?
Maybe.
Could be.
You might.
Yeah.
Many of us, board members, we don't have any training. We just get the job because people voted for us and we made the decision to run. And you don't know how to handle difficult situations. You've not been in this situation before, whereas a guy like you comes in and is all upset.
What?
And you know, most of us, our only real experience with dispute resolution, conflict resolution, is breaking up our kids when they're fighting.
That's true. Good point. Never thought about that.
So it doesn't work as well in an HOA.
Oh, that's right.
Doesn't
Good
work.
idea. Yes.
And too few of us really, as board members, understand the rules and the laws that govern our activities and how an HOA has to be run.
Oh, back to those rules again. I understand it. So they're there to really.
To guide
Yes.
and direct the association.
I get it. I understand that more now. All right.
And you know, we don't understand homeowners' rights. Homeowners have rights, and sometimes as board members we think, well, we're in charge, so we can do what we want.
And if we don't understand the rules, we can't expect them really to understand.
That's right.
Right? Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
So if we don't understand the rules, we may also feel like we're responsible to defend the association. The association has made a decision, you know, 2 months ago to do something, and now there's an issue with a homeowner, and we have to listen to what the homeowner has to say, listen to what the manager has to say, and try to find a solution one way or the other, whether they're right or they're wrong. We don't have to defend what the association did. We can actually say, you know what, that's not really a violation. You know, that's minor. That shouldn't be considered a violation. It's not criticizing the manager, it's just saying that in this case, this particular violation isn't a big deal.
Okay, so, but what if we're kind of getting the vibe that we feel a little bit frightened and threatened by this so-called homeowner that's got a problem with us, okay? So what if I just want to ignore it and run away? Huh? Can I do that?
Not so easy, is it?
No, and you can't run away from it, can you?
You're in a hearing, and you get that fight or flight instinct that kicks in, and since you can't run away, what do you want to do? You want to get mad.
You want to get mad, and does that work? No.
No, it does not work. You just basically create more anger in the meeting.
Is that kind of like fighting fire with fire sometimes?
And who gets burned? Everybody.
Everybody gets burned. Just makes things worse, right?
So, you know, no matter what happens in the meeting, no matter how you might feel, be courteous, be respectful. That's what we need to do.
Okay, so, you know, that kind of says it all for this segment. So let's move on to the second segment and see how we can absolutely present a friendly tone and make the temperature of the meeting great.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds good. We'll see you when you come back.
See you in a minute.